regretting it today, to be honest. It's pretty dirty.
Looking into our little setup with our stern tube.
What? That's not good.
It'll bond really well with the glue. And start building up these bearers and getting ready for where we're going to mount the new engine mounts. It's ready to start building new stuff in here.
Subscribe to the channel as we sail this old girl around the world.
After months of sailing to reach Langkawi and the boatyard, the day had finally come to haul Nandji out of the water and begin the long list of jobs needing to be completed. After limping our old engine along for who knows how long, it was a very rewarding feeling to finally remove and rid Old Smoky from our lives.
Get out of my boat.
The old engine had for sure left its mark, as we have some serious preparation to complete before installing our new engine Fang.
I finished sponging out the bilge, all that oil and grease and grit, and now I'm just going to cover the area with laundry detergent, and I'm going to rub it around and try to get all of that the stains off the wood and degrease the area basically. Yeah, pretty dirty job. Before I went to bed last night, I sprayed the area, like the sides and stuff, with WD-40. I sprayed it from the top so that it just flushes down over everything and tries to help degrease it as well. But yeah, now I'm on to the laundry detergent stage.
Get it in there.
It's coming off.
Oh, that's good.
Ugh. This is so gross. For like the last, I don't know how long it was, but you know, we were just determined to get here, and so normally we clean the bilge out all the time, but we just left it, and regretting it today, to be honest. It's pretty dirty. Like, this is just, I've got like 3 layers of gloves on, and I still don't feel very clean touching anything in here. Okay, so I've scrubbed the bilge with the laundry detergent and got out this huge bucket of grease. And now I'm going to flush it out with water and get into it with a scourer. It smells so much nicer on the boat already without that engine and without all the grease in the bilge. There was this one spot where there was this old sponge that was tucked in down the side, and I pulled it out and all this gross black stuff came out, and it smelled so bad. It's like it'd been there for 20 years and hadn't been cleaned. It was disgusting. So
Smelled like bonita.
so glad that's gone.
The Uncle Kevy came to help us install the motor, but he's a bit of a guru fiberglass, and he's just adopted taking out all the sides of Nandji. Meanwhile, we're doing other stuff. He's been out here sanding. Look at the man. He's just been going ham. He's been filling, sanding. Look at the man. Can't stop him. Looking good, man. Feels good.
Hi. Is it machine? Oh my goodness.
I mean, I could spend days right here. Bloody T-bomb. Top bloke Aussie mate from Hawaii. Legend.
I just filled the bilge up with fresh water, and Yosh is just fixing the bilge pump to take it out again. Starting to look a bit better.
All built down body and soul.
Look at this, we got clean water. See the bottom?
Having a bath there, Bonita.
Yeah, I'm turning it into a spa. We're gonna have a spa in the middle of Nandji.
Bilgy Bonita.
Now that I've flushed out all of the laundry detergent, I'm scrubbing all the other bilges around, and also scrubbing the wood with laundry detergent. So I put a little bit on and I scrub it to try to get all the grease and the oil out so that we can fiberglass. So and then the next step is to clean it all with chemicals. Then we can start grinding.
Another piece of stinky, unnecessary piece of ply tucked in and underneath everything. Good riddance. Get off my boat. After a couple of days of bashing, smashing, ripping, tearing, finally got most of the engine out. This is the last bit of Old Smoky that remains. This one last engine mount, and it's about to be turfed over. Oh, probably should have planned it so it was already out. Live action, folks.
Got him?
That's it.
Yes.
Yes.
Throw it. No.
How's Bilgy Bon this morning?
Yeah, getting there. It's a little bit frustrating because I keep finding new bilges to clean, you know, like there's a spot here that's like its own little thing, so.
It's just a silly little hole, isn't it?
Yeah, so I have to, and it's really hard to get to, so everyone was laughing at me for getting a toilet brush to clean the bilge, and it's actually my best friend. Doing pretty good.
Well done, Bilgy Bon.
Yeah.
It's good she's fit and healthy. I should probably do something so I'm not so sore. It looks like way too much effort. I'm more the Marley type. I can do the Marley. So you got all that bit and I adopted the same technique as last time. Bit of timber, beat the crap out of it. We've got it here. There we go. Oh, look at that.
What? That's not good.
In the Solomons, that's how we put the wood bearing. So the wood bearing would have been sitting in there, and how that burnt out, it's just annihilated this. If you see on the shaft where the wood bearing was as well, we've kind of got little grooves in the shaft. She's cactus, eh?
Oh, gee.
Look at me, I'm toast. Looking into our little setup with our stern tube, we're going to have to change the whole lot. We've got a really thick shaft, so we'll end up getting a thinner shaft. We've just had Bob come over. Bob's like Kevin's mentor, and Bob, I've basically named him the greatest of all time, so he's the GOAT. He's on his 8th circumnavigation, still gets barreled and he's 70. What a legend. So when he talks, I listen. We've been lucky enough he's come around and pointed a few things out and told us what we should do and sort out this stern tube. So we need to get a good measurement for the length of the new stern tube to put in. Our current one was made of stainless, but we need to change it to bronze. But that's where we had a bit of a water leak, so I need to chip out all this epoxy and all the epoxy putty that I put there. We need to clean all this up on the inside, so then we can start afresh. That's all the putty. Yeah, so it just kept leaking through it. It just kept leaking and kept leaking.
Okay, I think we are about to clean the stern tube. So Yosh has put a toilet cleaner in there and he's tied it to a rope on one side, and I've got the rope on the inside. I think we're just gonna pull it backwards and forwards, and that's how we're gonna scrub it. Yeah, you can pull. Just gonna use this on the stern it's like hand cleaning gel that gets rid of any grease and stuff. So we're gonna put that on the brush. And then I'm going to put it on there and flush some water down there as well. So it smells so good. It's like lemony.
Nandji's got the runs.
Yesterday I finished scrubbing the whole area with laundry detergent and a scourer. Got it real nice and clean. And now I'm going over it with terps and I'm just lightly painting it on. So this is going to break down any grease that's left, and I'm focusing on the area where the engine mounts are going to go, and those real hard to reach places. So this is going to give it a really good clean. The guys are getting stuck into it. What do you got going here? Is it acetone?
It's not acetone, that's even worse, but this is methylated alcohol. This is supposed to take the residue of the spirits.
Ah, yeah.
The bilge is pretty well scrubbed, but we're hoping today we might be able to get some glass in here, or at least rough it up and start building up these bearers and getting ready for where we're going to mount the new engine mounts. We just got to finish off taking out all the other stuff from the old motor, so like all the electrics. Just feels so weird cutting through so many wires. I'm like double checking, I'm like, no, that's just for the old motor, they're not needed. But you just never know. So I've ripped up heaps more floor and I've had to follow lots of wires, but mainly for the motor. I might accidentally cut a couple here. No, won't, don't be silly, I'm all over this. Get off my boat. Before we left Australia, back in Malula Bay, you might remember I cut a massive big hole in the deck. Got out a heap of rot and I put it back in, and I wasn't very good at fiberglassing then, and I'm still not. But Uncle's come along and he's just reached that patch now to sand the sides. He's a fiberglasser for 30 years. He's proud of my efforts. So he's attacking it now to get the paint out of those little grooves so we can bond new epoxy to it. The epoxy won't stick to paint, so you really need to get all the paint off for any sort of, so it sets proper and strong. Okay? That's what he's up to now. He's been standing with 120 grit and he's asked for the little 4-inch grinder with 36.
It's Marley's day today. We are off to the vets. Marley's getting a rabies booster. He's had his rabies shots. It's just been 12 months since his last one, so we're getting that. He's also getting a treatment for ticks because there's been ticks in the boatyard. We normally wash Marley with a insecticidal rinse, which is for fleas and ticks, every 2 weeks, but we've run out of that soap, and we really want like a treatment that will just stop them from wanting to go on Marley. We don't want him to get them on him at all. So yeah, we're getting that sorted today.
Just got to pick up a few things for Nandji, you know, standard. We got to try to find a water catcher to put it in line the compressor, because when we drained the compressor it was full of water and had a bit of oil. So we don't want to be spraying that onto the sides of Nandji.
Marley's all sorted. He's had his rabies booster and we have a couple of solutions for his tick situation. There's nothing that totally prevents the ticks, so we've got a couple of solutions. We have a tick collar which will help stop them from getting on him in the first place, a tick spray as well from Frontline, and this is, if he does get them on him, we can spray them. Marley's bill came to around 100 Aussie dollars today, so he's all sorted. The rabies booster, they last for 2 to 3 years depending on what brand they are, but because it's being imported and exported into different countries, generally their requirement is that he needs to have had it within 12 months. So Marley has a rabies booster every single year, and he also has a C5 injection every single year as well.
So inside where we've got the bearers, we need to build up the back ones, because where the engine will sit, it looks like the mounts are going to be sitting probably, I don't know, like between 50 and 100 mil higher at the back. Because those bearers are on such an angle, the motor's not going to be sitting at the same angle. So we're just chopping up some hardwood to fill in, we're going to glass in. So these are the finished product, they've all been cleaned up, sanded off the side so it's back to bare wood, so it'll bond really well with the glue. So now we've got to do the same in here with the sander. So we just have to take back all these bearers, just so they're nice and raw, dry wood again, so the glue and epoxy will really bond to the two, so really set them and keep them in place. So they're going to be sitting like this, a little something like this, other side, and then they'll be glassed over, and the brackets for the engine mounts will be sitting about here. I never thought a week ago I'd be sitting here in the bilge, the amount of filth that was in it, but Bonita's done such a good job. For the last 3 days, she's been up to her elbows, just, it's so clean, it's all back to glass, so now we just need to buff up the wood and take off the top layer and everything, and it's ready to start building new stuff in here. Oh, what a woman, eh?
Like ice on a cake.
We managed to bog up all the sides. We used some hard timber as some filler, and then we just bogged with filler, like an epoxy filler all around it. Couple of layers of that just to fill up any voids, and then we just done a bit more of epoxy on top here just to fill up any little holes, and stick in a little bit more hardwood timber just in the spaces where there's a few gaps. Playing with the epoxy now. End of another day, but we've built up. These bearers are nice and high. So the next step tomorrow is, once all this dries, we'll sand it all back again, grind it all back, make it all smooth, and then we'll have to grind a bit more of this glass, and we're ready to lay some fresh fiberglass on. Another day of boatyard completed.
Yeah, that was some pretty gross work cleaning out the bilge there.
Yeah, Bonita did really good in getting in there, hands and knees and everything.
I did go and buy some proper gloves for cleaning it out after using those little rubber ones for a little bit, and it worked so much better.
Yeah, you got some big blue bad boys, eh?
Yeah.
Nandji's coming along very slowly but very fast at the same time. We're seeing progression every day, which is very exciting.
Yeah, we just want to say a huge thank you to our patrons for making these videos possible, and our long list of patrons that we haven't thanked yet. So we've got the Barney and Bo Show, Byron, Stan, David, Anasha, Sailing ABC,
legends.
Tim, William, Nuvo, Jim, Andy, Jeff, Scott, Harry, Emily, SB Friday, Steve, John, Chris, Roberto, Neren,
Philip, Scott, Alexander, Howe, Dennis, Dave, Werner, James, Brian, 1-2, Wobby, Wade, Danu, Danny, Brent, Natasha, Adam and Kevin.
Thanks guys for joining the Sailing Nandji family.
Yeah, thanks very much for supporting us over these last couple of months, and it's good to see you are still on the list, so we must be doing something right. So
Yeah,
we've got to
thank
say
you
thanks
guys
very
so
much,
much.
legends.
Yeah, we've been working 9 to 5 on the boat, 7 days a week, and today we work 9 till 6, so we're pretty knackered.
Yeah, and then off to the editing room now, and now we'll post this video. So
Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and there's going to be another one coming really soon. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram for up-to-date pics and Facebook as well.
cheers, legends.
See ya.
Catch ya. Grinding fiberglass this morning. I think we're okay.
Itchy. Are you itchy? We've done our best to cover the boat up and protect it from getting dust everywhere.
And we wiped all the bits down where we planned to glass with acetone.
It's our fiberglass I'm working with here today.
3 different ones. The epoxy absorbs into that and it'll really build it up a thick wall. It'll be super strong. This wall will have 6 or 8 layers of glass. We're just making it bulletproof now.
I need to try to make the surface as flat as possible, so the glass has a nice flat surface to bond to.
Only if it's your own boat can you do what you do.
Yeah.
If it was his boat, I'd just leave it and say forgive it.